Hello everybody, and thank you for watching the Wealth Card Show. I'm your host, Tom White. Well, it was a late show this week because I just got back from Texas, back here in Colorado, so let's get started here. And we'll start with our economic mechanics based on these three principles. First, the U.S. dollar and commodities move in the opposite direction, as commodities are priced in dollars. And two, commodities and interest rates, they move in the same direction. And last three, high interest rates, they're bearish for stocks. So let's begin with the U.S. dollar. And on the daily chart, the US dollar down below 0.1, we can see where the stochastics have taken a turn here from overbought territory. They're looking bearish. We gave it a red mark. And above that, 0.2 shows where the MACDs are looking like they're about to confirm the move in the stochastics as the black line's getting ready to cross over the red. And the histogram bars, the blue bars, have been declining and nearing that zero line, so we gave that a red mark. And 0.3 up top, relative strength index is beginning to weaken too and starting to fall. Gave it a red mark. And over on the weekly charts, down below 0.1, the stochastics, we can see where they've been moving up higher from oversold territory. And they're looking like they're converging a little bit here, so we gave it a yellow mark. And 0.2 above that shows where we just got a move, a confirmation in the MACDs. Black line crossed over the red, it looked bullish. And the histogram bars, they moved over 0.2, but they flattened a bit, so we gave this one a yellow mark. Up top, 0.3, the relative strength index, taking a break off here from its uptrend here. We gave that one a yellow mark too. And so summing up the US dollar, we analyzed the daily chart and the weekly chart. Over on the daily chart, we found the stochastics, the MACDs, and the relative strength index were all negative. We gave them a red mark. Over on the weekly chart, we found that the stochastics, the MACDs, and relative strength index were all neutral, so we gave those all yellow marks. So for total, we've got 3 red marks, 3 yellow marks, 0 green marks for the US dollar. And now we'll look at the commodities represented by the CRB Index. And on a daily chart of the commodities, things looking pretty strong down below 0.1. The stochastics, they're reaching higher, looking bullish here. We gave it a green mark. And above that too, we see that we continue with the confirmation in the MACDs, and the histogram bars are also rising, so we gave that one a green mark. Up top, 0.3 shows we're ascending higher with the relative strength index, so we gave that a green mark too. And over on the weekly chart of the commodities, it looks like we may be reaching a bottom here. We've got the stochastics down below trying to make a move. Looking to give a bullish signal here. We gave it a yellow mark until it does so. And above that, 0.2 shows where the MACDs, they look like they're starting to level off here. And the histogram bars too, they've flattened and perhaps maybe they're starting to move higher too, so we gave that a yellow mark. And above that, 0.3. Relative strength index looks like it hit a bottom as it's starting to rebound here off the oversold line. And it looks like it's moving a little higher, so we gave it a yellow mark. And summing up the commodities, analyzed daily chart and weekly charts. Over on the daily chart, found the stochastics, the MACDs, and the relative strength index. They were all positive and looking strong, gave them all green marks. Over on the weekly charts, things were still neutral as we found the stochastics, the MACDs, and the relative strength index got yellow marks. For a total, we got 0 red marks, 3 yellow marks, 3 green marks for the commodities. And now we'll take a look at 10-year Treasury yield. And on the daily chart, the 10-year Treasury yields down below 0.1 the stochastics, they're continuing lower. Looks bearish, we gave it a red mark. Up top, 0.2 shows where we're flat on the MACDs, and the histogram bars, they're negative, but they're also flat, so we gave this one a yellow mark. And up top, 0.3, relative strength index looks like it might be hitting some support here, so we gave this one a yellow mark too. And on the weekly charts, it looks like we're heading lower here. 0.1 the stochastics, they're down in oversold territory. They may be looking to move higher, but they're still negative, gave it a red mark. 0.2. MACDs, they're continuing lower as well, and the histogram bars are falling, so we gave this one a red mark. Up top, relative strength index, 0.3, it's continuing in decline, so we gave this one a red mark too. And summing up 10-year Treasury yield, we analyzed daily charts and the weekly charts. On the daily chart, we found the stochastics were negative, we gave them a red mark. And we found that the MACDs and the relative strength index, they were neutral, so we gave those yellow marks. Over on the weekly charts, we found the stochastics, MACDs, relative strength index were all negative, gave those red marks. For a total, we got 4 red marks, 2 yellow marks, 0 green marks for the 10-year Treasury yield. Looks like 10-year Treasury interest rates are going lower. And we take a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And on the daily chart at Dow Jones, down below 0.1 shows where we got the stochastics and oversold territory, bullish signal here. Want to see a little more action out of that, so we gave it a yellow mark. And above that, 0.2, MACDs, they're still in decline, and the histogram bars, though, they're rising and approaching the zero line, so we gave this one a yellow mark. Up top, 0.3, the relative strength index. It may be bouncing off here of some support, but we're still in a downtrend, so we gave it a red mark. And on the weekly chart, things still continue to look bad here. 0.1 down below, we still have a sell signal on the stochastics. The black line crossed over the red and overbought territory, gave it a red mark. 0.2 above that shows we got some confirmation of that as the MACDs have crossed, and the histogram bars have fallen below zero, so we gave that a red mark. Up top, 0.3. Relative strength index is bouncing off of some resistance here and falling, gave it a red mark. And summing up the Dow Jones Industrial Average, analyzed daily charts and the weekly charts. Over on the daily charts, stochastics and MACDs, they were neutral, we gave them yellow marks. And a relative strength index was negative though, we gave that one a red mark. Over on the weekly charts, stochastics, the MACDs, and the relative strength index were all negative and we gave them red marks. For a total, we've got 4 red marks, 2 yellow marks, 0 green marks for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Little caution advised to going into this week with the Dow Jones. And so we've been coming up with scores for the US dollar, the commodities, 10-year Treasury yield, and Dow Jones Industrial Average, looking for where the strengths are and where the weaknesses lie. We did that by establishing a number of positives versus the number of negatives and coming to a conclusion that way. And this week, we see in first place, we got the commodities, the CRB Index down below. We got 3 green marks, 3 yellow marks, 0 red marks. And in second place, we've got the US dollar, we got 0 green marks, 3 yellow marks, and 3 red marks. And in last place, we got a tie with the 10-year Treasury yield. We got 0 green marks, 2 yellow marks, and 4 red marks. And the Dow Jones, the same, 0 green marks, 2 yellow marks, 4 red marks. And we take a look now at the market gauge. The object here is to be as far in the right column in bullish territory as possible, and as far away from the left column in bearish territory as possible. And this week, in first place, it was a clear winner with the commodities. We had the CRB Index. First place here, it's right between the bullish and the neutral. And we've got the US dollar in second place. That's in decline. It's not looking good for the US dollar. I think it's going to look a lot worse as we move ahead this week. We've got that between the bearish and neutral, and 10-year Treasury yield and Dow Jones Industrial Average very close, right behind. They're also negative and moving toward the bearish signal. And we review now our IBD 50 holdings for this week. The way this works, we started out on January 28th, 2011 with $10,000 and bought 5 stocks. Each week, the worst performing stock is sold and a new stock is added to the portfolio. This week, our holdings, Tempur Pedic, came in first place last week. We got $2,947.22 there, and Altera Corp, $2,125.20. And Edwards Lifesciences, third place last week with $2,118 even. Polypore International survived the portfolio last week. We got $2,653.20 there. And the new addition to the portfolio, it's Hansen Natural Beverage Company. Got 23 shares of that stock, starting the week with $1,517.77, carrying some cash in this portfolio of $212.89. One of these stocks is about to get sold. And our number 1 performer this week, in first place, it's Hansen Natural. And it's the new addition to the portfolio. We like that. Hansen Natural starting the week at $65.99 and closing the week at $70.89. Nice gain there of $112.70. Let's take a look at the chart. And the chart of Hansen Natural, a little down below 0.1 stochastics. They look a little toppy here as they're riding sideline high over spot territory. Gave it a yellow mark. And above that 0.2, we got the MACDs. They're still ascending higher, and the histogram bars, they look like they're leveling off a little bit, so we gave that a yellow mark. And up top, 0.3, the relative strength index is still climbing, so we gave that a green mark. And our number 2 performer this week, it's Tempur Pedic. And Tempur Pedic, it just continues to perform week after week, starting out here at $64.05, closing at $64.77. Started out with $2,946.30, closed with $2,979.42, total gain $33.12. Let's look at the chart. And on the chart of Tempur Pedic, we got down below, the stochastic's been taking a break for a bit, but it looks like they're trying to make another move, gave it a yellow mark. And above that, 0.2. MACDs, they're continuing to decline, and the histogram bars are still negative, but they're approaching the zero line. Still gave it a red mark. And up top, relative strength index, it's moving sideways, gave it a yellow mark. And coming in, number 3 this week, it's Edwards Lifesciences. And starting out the week at $88.43 and closing the week at $88.08. We had a total loss in the portfolio of $8.40. Let's take a look at the chart. And on the chart of Edwards Lifesciences, looks like we got a little problem here. Down below, 0.1, the stochastics are in decline. Not looking good here. Give it a red mark. And above that, 0.2 shows we got some confirmation with the MACDs as the black line crossed over the red, and the histogram bars are in negative territory below zero. Up top, 0.3 shows relative strength index. It's starting to slope a little lower here. We gave that one a yellow mark. It's not looking good for Edwards Lifesciences, and it's got to perform. It's going to be out of here. And so that only leaves room for one more stock in this portfolio. One of the stocks is going to remain, and the other is going to get sold. The first stock up is Polypore International. And the second stock up, Altera Corp. Both of these stocks have been in the portfolio since last month. Coming in, number 4. And remaining in the portfolio, it's Polypore International. And Polypore International starting out the week at $68.69, closing at $68.05. Had a total loss of $25.60 in the portfolio. Good enough for 4th place. Let's take a look at the chart. And the chart of Polypore International down below, 0.1 shows stochastics. Look like they're improving a bit as the black line crossed over the red here. Got a buy signal. Gave it a green mark. And above that, 0.2 shows that the MACDs, they're still in decline. And the histogram bars have flattened a bit here. So we gave this one a yellow mark. And above that, 0.3. The relative strength index leveling off a bit here too, so we gave this one a yellow mark. Overall, it looks like we're a little neutral here on Polypore International. And so Altera Corp is out of here. Starting the week out at $47.77 and closing at $47.05. Had a total loss of the portfolio of $31.68. Overall, we made a few bucks in Altera Corp, so things aren't so bad. Let's take a look at the chart. And on the chart of Altera Corp, down below, 0.1 shows stochastics giving a bullish signals. The black line crossed over the red here, gave it a green mark. And above that, 0.2 shows where we got the MACDs still in decline. Looks like they're trying to take a little move higher, and the histogram bars are floating a little higher too, so we gave that a yellow mark. 0.3 up on top, relative strength index. We see the trend is down, but we just broke that downtrend line and bouncing off support. Gave it a yellow mark. Things are looking a little bit better for Altera Corp coming up in this week. And our final results from this week, we had Hansen Natural, the new addition to the portfolio, coming in first place, closing the week $1,630.47. Tempur Pedic continuing to perform, closing the week here $2,979.42. Edwards Lifesciences down this week, down to $2,113.92. And Polypore International surviving the portfolio at $2,722 even. Altera Corp is out of here, $2,070.20 there. Got cash $212.89. And so we'll get a new stock in the portfolio. And this week our new stock is Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, symbol DLTR, closing a week at $63.22. Got a market cap about $7.75 billion. Average daily volume is about 1.1 million. And Dollar Tree operates discount variety stores in the United States. Its stores offers merchandise at a fixed price of $1. Let's take a look at the chart. And I like the chart of Dollar Tree down below. Point 1 shows stochastics moving up high here. Got a buy signals. A black line crossed over the red. Gave it a green mark. Above that, point 2 shows we got a little confirmation here as the MACDs have crossed. Histogram bars moving above 0.2, so give that one a green mark. Up top, relative strength index. Looks like it's bouncing here, so we give this one a yellow mark. I'm liking the way this chart looks here for next week, so we're going to keep an eye out for Dollar Tree. And so our holdings going into this week, we got Hansen Natural in first place this week, starting out at $70.89. And Tempur Pedic continuing to perform. We got starting out $64.77. Edwards Lifescience continuing to just go flatline, $88.08. And Polypore International surviving the portfolio, starting the week out at $68.05. And a new addition to the portfolio is Dollar Tree. We picked up 33 shares of that stock, and it's starting out at $63.22. With a carrying cash in this portfolio of $196.83. Total value of the portfolio, $11,728.90. Hey, we're up 17.25% since January 28th, and we'll take that. Got a short week coming up this week here, 4 days, as we've got the holiday for Memorial Day weekend. And, you know, these stocks have got to perform, or else they're out of here.